My family una kusha una kabo una this na CRCast TV with your regular weekly program Salon for Betting, and as we come up today again, we just do a countdown on the June 24 general election in Sierra Leone, and this na scorecard, as we always tell una say, at least at the end of the term or the end of the semester, we forget report card and see what you don't do for the previous term. So we still continue, but today we're going to come Ajibu Chijanjalo, we now be the former government presidential spokesman for the former government All People Congress. So now the right people I believe say we get forgive with the complete report card when they compare the past administration of Anesbai Kurma and this of Madabio. Then we go compare and contrast and see what are the difference. Beside the Dombolo Day, beside the happiness be there. But to go bring una Mr. Ajibu Chijanjalo, I think we get much more for say about that than me, because in the former administration where I believe say we see visually we see and it could not be just the launch and left, even the artists say they launch and they sing the music like Madabi winner so launch in Campa and not sing one music. So welcome Mr. Ajibu Chijanjalo to CRCast TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mansari. Thank you very much. And may I just make one quick clarification? Government spokesman. The presidential spokesman was Mr. Abdullahi Biriti, and I handle government issues, and he is exclusively presidential. Yes.
Okay. The volume low.
My volume is low.
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Okay. Yes, sir. Mr. Ajibu, and the first side way our law begin, we see people in the jubilate and people in the say, hey, he shall do well, he do well within the samurai case. We don't always say a lot of money. Come to America, go and come back. Not say the man thief. They say deceive the principal or all kind of rubbish. Naimben Kelfala they bring up. So now they don't postpone samurai case till after election. You visit a favor SLPP do, or at least them put fire behind them or extinguisher behind them back. Or let he shall take that decision the way he adjourned the case after election. What do you get for say about that?
Thank you very much, sir. Certainly not. Mr. Fisher, George Fisher, do no favor to the APC at all. But before I even go further for response to the question, Mecca, please convey me thanks, gratitude, and appreciation for myself and on behalf of the Sierra Leoneans for what they do, for establish and provide this network where we're able to get frank discussion. Of course, with that kind of discussion here, it help answer questions them and give people them the ability for know more and make decisions as to when time comes for vote, whether they for vote for or against. So thank you very much. Thank you. Now going to the question where you ask, Mr. Mansare, really and truly, they not do any favor. Honorable George Fisher not do any favor. And for me, like how you say, I'm confused. If we remember the last sitting, the judge said, and he don't talk on several other times say, they become moved by the fact that Dr. Samura Kamara na a political figure. In the do in work where they hire and for do, where they pay and for do, where Parliament ratify the position for make it do, and he really don't want to do but the man in position. In fact, the other thing we do was he say, in fact, because Dr. Samuel Kamara now the flag bearer for APC, and they make the matter public now. So anything we they do, they on man see them. So really and truly, it cannot be intent for stop this matter, but for continue the matter. But one would ask a question: if not to being irresponsible, then how you go able to explain that? If Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara now a flag bearer of a political party, and we just say about for go by elections, okay, presidential election. I mean, common sense not going to tell you say whatever decision come out of that case, if in fact decision come out of that case, okay, could be tainted or influenced by the court proceeding. So the right thing for do now before stop the matter way before now. The fact that Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara now also not only a flag bearer, but also now the leader of the APC party. APC party, the main opposition, do not believe, say, when in the kind of court, in people then go come follow for left on the court, and now they go create major disruption like the central business district. So for me, I don't know how irresponsible a government can be, how irresponsible the judiciary can be. What happened so not so on their own production. This now the international community now prevail on them. This they happen all the time. It take with man for can't tell we true. It take with man for can't tell we make we dot with eyes and cross with teeth. The international community now they reach out, okay, to the Chief Justice and all the other relevant authorities and say, well, listen, this man now accuse the accuser. He's not guilty until when I don't go through the whole process of prosecution, instead of stage in defense, and then a decision is made. If it continue for kind of court so, that one day go actually make some kind of adverse influence on a position as a flag bearer for the main opposition. And that one day go bring back a ripple effect. Now I make them make a decision for say, let's stop this matter. Because if you listen to the judge be the come for come make a decision on in passport. This that last day for come make a decision in passport because the prosecution be talk say they're not for gear passport for make it go na a Commonwealth meeting na England where the president said they attend. The judge be saying they can make a decision, but when it can now, we can't really say now they don't stop the matter. Now because they prevail on them, they advise them say that needs to stop. And the right thing they for do. And now they also bring to question which you say, this judge, he not be don't determine for say this matter for stop. He not want to stop him. Because if he want to stop him, he not go come spend over $100 and almost $200,000 for bring lawyer then come, from bring court officers then come for can look a building in New York. Why would you spend all that money? You know, so the priorities of this government is misplaced completely. You start for wonder for say, wait a minute, what's what they think? Here we are, we get $11 million contract where they give somebody for go make ID for vote. They not take nobody in picture. Now the old picture they will be get now they use. Then picture they self, then come out bad. Then they get the temerity for distribute them bad ID the day somebody walk away with 11 million. How can we be that reckless? Okay, ACC no one after down deal, but yet ACC they carry one after somebody when I be minister. Okay, we make a decision for say we need for renovate we building, we mission in New York, we need for add a floor day. So when we president go dey come, and not go for pay $5,000 for hotel during the UN General Assemblies. And we're not going for be scramble for fair hotel room because since we're a small country, we know they're able to forget better hotel all the time. The Chinese then come, they give you 2 million. They give you 2 million, but we need 4.9 million in total, almost 5 million. Then Dr. Samuel Mafiwitsin Kamara at the time make a decision, say, when I take that money there, when I go lock up na Bank of Sierra Leone, until such time, we will figure out how they get the other balance for me to start the construction. I mean, that's somebody who is responsible, that's somebody who is forthright, and he mean well for a country, and I go make that kind of decision there. Because you know, say, if we left the money in the hands of the mission, tomorrow we say the ambassador in Motuka and Bob, they need extensive damage warranty no cover now. You go already say the boiler well now the emission, they need for go fix them. Okay, then go deep into that money there. Now I make Dr. Samuel Mathew come out and say, when take that money there, when I go lock up now the central bank, make it did it, we'll get the other balance, we'll go put them together, we'll forward them. So most of what they talk about now the fact that this man misappropriates money by moving that money to the central bank and not put it in my pocket. It can't go to the central bank. Much unlike person like Ali Kaba, more person like the other minister, we don't pay money back, where they may actually squander and take for their own personal use. You know, so you look at all of them here, so you begin to wonder who's this case they go anyway. But I'll tell you now that this case, I don't done so. If we win, of course the case don't done. God forbid, matter win, still the case don't done.
Okay, Mr. Ajibu, when you dey talk about the man there, they go and accuse Mr. Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara. From the one you for no say them guys here corrupt because from the Speaker of Parliament, Abbas Mundu, in thief pass then Grand Pig then in New York, then BB Grand Pig. And you know, say Abbas Bundu, na man way he say he study something like law or I don't know. But that man then at the first Grand Pig they will begin sell salon passport abroad. And this Abbas Bundu will turn against APC today, we can be Speaker of Parliament. Now APC, now they can put away come out who say go study. Now APC first can begin present time for way make it. Of course, matter be a way they make so. Now JS moment we go take kind. Now ma no get O levels. Now matter be na JS moment we take and go put under the army. You know what they say. And when they talk about all the criminal them, then guy no wonder now they bring that slang scam now then civil service office mass. Will not be noting and they call mass. Now then guy account mass. You go see coatless and office and pay a small money. But beyond that thief, now then guy be believing on. Where you see David Francis, Mr. 1%, where can the first money where thief, where check no by exposure. Uda go Ben Kelfala. So then guy there, una get beaucoup, una get for arrest una kind to governance because Ben Kelfala not be rich, not be qualified for be ACC boss. So that money they will then pay all before he become ACC boss. They get for accountable of harm. Because Abbas Bundu, in all respect, the president, why is he not thief man? Because you can see the video will come out, where pick you for being grand picking. Where can go now tell who that invest the lady, no matter be on face lady. Where all that kind of much money, you see people who lack integrity. So we know say you know much more about them people there. You don't see what you talk about Samura, not to favor them do Samura. Now fire, now them put behind them for their Fisher, where even the Bar Association of Sierra Leone, we don't say Fisher not qualify for let he get that position the way he gets so as judge. But still yet, until then a paupanistic, them push him. So it's a family now they listen this and say Cast TV. We there with Ajibu Tijanjalo way now be the former presidential spokesman or the and his by my administration now they talk to right now. Mr. Ajibu, what you want to look at? I don't know. Sometimes until you grandpa na be president, you don't know. Sometimes you get that history. You don't want to see Parliament. They take 12 o'clock morning when then guy pass bill last week say them forgive themselves. Boku money. I don't know if you get any idea there. And then more how you see back about the independence, how the independence happened in Sierra Leone. One let you brief people about that with your ideas, sir.
Sure, that's it. And I beg pardon. Just before I talk about that, let me just finish off this Georgia issue here. So the ACC gets a special prosecutor, one Zimbabwean lawyer, where they bring him, where they pay hell of money for can prosecute this case against Dr. Samuel Matthew Wilson Kamara. You want to tell me say no Sierra Leone and no they will qualify for prosecute? In fact, if the man they had a battery of other prosecutors. Okay, they pay a hell of a money just for show you how this government, the SNPP government, corrupt and their priorities not align with the objectives of within the manifesto say. I just want to throw down in there. With regards to the parliament issue, you know, parliament's not an independent entity, independent arm of government, and really and truly, the role now for make laws. Parliamentarian get three objectives. A, provide oversight for government department and agencies, meaning that in parliament they form committee them. Every ministry where you get, every department where you get, every agency where you get a committee where they form of maybe 5 to 9 parliamentarian where go they and then job for provide oversight, okay, for make sure say that department, the ministry or agency, they do exactly within say if they do or waiting the mandate give them for do and for make sure say they spend government money judiciously. Thirdly, then therefore make law. And sorry, secondly, then therefore make law. And then thirdly, then therefore represent them party and parliament. So having said that, we see a parliament where be dysfunctional because of all the things and way they do for bringing the parliament into life. Number one, the speaker. A decision had been made in 2012 that with the lead parliament we voted for from amongst of parliamentarian. Possibly they come outside inside can be parliamentarian. We see how they force for bring Dr. Abbas Modukam as parliamentarian. We see how they remove 10 of the parliamentarian. The one they make you go through by election, 2 other term after the first term. The other 9 they're not created and come at all. And according to the act, if for any reason a parliamentarian lost his seat within 90 days, you for hold a by-election. In their own case, they not hold a by-election. They just go ahead and take the SNPP post away. And in a situation where no two SNPP posts in Ghana second, like the 110, they actually do another election. So all that you play, we see all of that up to and including which you to talk about. So where at the very last minute they run for past bills then. Okay, when you get a lazy parliament, whatever the case is, they elbow, they try for make sure say the opposition not take part in plenty of the deliberation them. They hold something them. They only present them to them, you know, maybe 24 hours before they need for can discuss them. So you don't give them enough time for understand them. You don't get enough time for actually put together a defense and all of that thing. So now that kind of thing they that QQ they play, they hold on to a lot of things, wait for the last minute for can force them through, okay, for make the actually enact in our parliament. And the last thing we talk about now, the bill we give them a welfare bill. And for me, me believe in the bill. Me believe see them for get paid well. Okay, I've been in the system a long time, and whilst other people in the talk say the country Kanga things are difficult and as such, parliamentarian for the ashamed of themselves will ask for better conditions of service. Me differ in that respect. You know, if you don't pay good money, if you don't get good conditions of service, you don't go attract quality. If you don't attract quality into parliament, the thing that we don't see don't they happen all this time and go continue for happening. when you get quality parliamentarian them, you will see better laws. You will see a parliament when you talk overstand. You will see a parliament where they think things through. And for whether they happen, you can forget a good um, package. Okay. And I also know say very well that parliament up until just recently nobody make better money at all, at all, at all. And then really na the 92 politicians. Person dying and then question them. Person wants to feed and come to them. Person get problem to them. So really and truly, I believe say parliamentarians should have looked at their welfare and present a bill which will enhance their welfare. So that one they are getting that. But that you will play no more. At one point, when the opposition MP then grab say, "But this bill, you're going when I need for put along," the ruling party grab say, "Okay, well, if that is the case now, all we agree, but now we say no, we're going to pull the bill come on. We withdraw." Then all of a sudden, 12 o'clock and that's on the last day of parliament, then can bring and can inside back. It goes to tell you that once a man, he take care of himself no matter what force. Okay. One thing I want to explain about that bill, like this 50,000 one off for members of parliament, we only don't do one term of 5 years. I think it's a good thing nowadays. A good thing. The way parliament set up, the way the government set up was that if you can serve one term, when you come on a parliament, you will receive a certain portion of you, a percentage of you, I think now 40%, 40% of you gross salary for the rest of your life. If you serve 2 terms, you will receive, I believe, 80% of which will be your gross salary for the rest of your life. I not believe say that is sustainable. Because we get parliamentarian there now, we don't serve one term, okay, where they get paid for the rest of their life. Then they put other thing, they still get money. If you don't serve 2 terms, you still get 80% of what you salary in our parliament, where you know did it again for the rest of your life. That is not sustainable. And that money they come out from the budget. As it is, the budget not sufficient for make we do all what we need for do. And then we pile up more parliamentarian and more parliamentarian. So I think they come with a good plan now for say somebody will serve one term before when they don't come out, they can't get 40% of his salary for the rest of your life. Give him 50,000, one shot, and that's it. We're done with it. So I'm glad that they don't begin to take steps for fix that problem there, because that problem down there will be left for we picking and yet unborn.
The family, I will just
I stop there so far, sir.
this Cast TV weekly program Salon for Better, but this time we don't count down on the SLPPBO led government. We at least will forget elections on the June 24 this year, 2023. And we there with Ajibu Chijanjalo, we now be the former government spokesman on the INS Bicomine administration. Mr. Ajibu, I don't know, one side the way Madabiogo campaign, where we really talk say they don't open space, the neck kill Lomo. So Madabio be aware about the extrajudicial killing the way Lima and intimidate them, they go and kill people. Them. What do you get for say about that?
You know, we don't decipher, we don't already come with the conclusion, say, to a great extent, Mother is aware of the things that are happening. Because we don't make other statements, them, where you don't say, aware green, but not to that green they are aware. We don't make other statements that we don't tell people and say, we not need for defend on ourselves. Okay, we not wait for me for defend on all the time. Okay, so what we really so now something we don't get an inclination. We're not surprised. The only surprise now the fact that you get in mind for talk like that one day pan campaign. The people them where you want or we superintend over their lives for the last 5 years, and we ask them again for making superintend over their life. Now they can't tell say, you know, we know they kill again. So that mean for say, them cousin, them brother, them sister, them, you hand them and killing. Ebo, now whose power we switch so pasmate you dey go engage pan killing. So it be unfortunate, very unfortunate. God know the sleep. I believe says unions them for open their eye and listen, then kind thing, and this for make them actually think through and make a decision for say President Madabio not to be possible for vote for again. He promised we say Salon problem is Sabian. He will fix them within 6 months. Then take away about bread and butter issue. Then talk about the fact say people then go get woke and all of that kind of thing that they will improve the livelihoods of people then and all of that. We don't see a reversal of all. We don't see say waiting they say really now right you go, now right you go, you're right, now left you. So I think to say the people enough for play with their life. Okay, the system allow for every 5 year, like I say, um, government will come defend in stewardship, and the people never get an opportunity for vote you in back again or choose something else. With all what we don't see, okay, in terms of the human rights, the issues, in fact of the economy, the fact that we fashion for politics this whole time. We're not going for some for talk politics the whole time, the whole 5 years. Not go, not go, not go. Now an indication for see if we continue with President Madabio, situation will be worse, especially given the fact that if he come again this second time, it will be careless, you know, care. Okay. So I believe say people will make a decision for say no, not to the direction this for go at this particular moment. We need to fix this country. We need to pull this country out of the dungeons. If after we not believe say we'll do the right thing and there is need for them bring and come back, and if you get back, the law allows that. Okay. Nobody no go serve as president after I don't serve 2 terms of 5 years, be it consecutively or otherwise. So if you serve 1 term, you get the ability to come back for a second term if voted in. But at this point, at this juncture, with all the indices there, with all the examples that we don't see, the issue of prices, the issue of waiting they actually putting out a manifesto and waiting they're able to accomplish, and the forthrightness and the upfrontness of them, the fact that they don't tell lies, the fact that corruption don't worsen, the fact that Auditor General we're supposed for get an independent office we're supposed for actually uh, uh, present to government who say leakages there. Okay, come on, they take them and throw them to the side simply because that woman talk say when I present a receipt to me for say when I go pay hotel in Dubai, but what we call Dubai no aware of this receipt. The lady present say una don't lost 171 billion, okay, and una need for account for that. The next thing we will know now, then pull them come on, then bring somebody else, and then they say the president and the vice president their office not reach the threshold for make the audit them. It's kind of talk down there. Now government money they spend. In fact, you they spend government money past any other ministry. You say you don't reach the threshold for make them audit you. So that we Saloma, we not full man them. We Chris, we know it. Before that one day, we see where the Minister of Finance presented a bill in 2021, 22 rather, where it said the impress where the president they get, where they travel, should not be audited. They should not retire it. I mean, what is that? Now we don't see they don't graduate from now and now to saying that the office of the president not for be audited at all because you don't reach the threshold. If not government money you spend, if the money you spend they come out of the consolidated fund, then you must be audited. You must be audited. So if you ask me that question, the answer is that really we're in a lot of trouble, and I believe say the people of Sierra Leone will look at all the TSO and make a decision now for vote out President Bill at this point, okay, and make we try somebody else Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara, where all man they say don't spend 40 years na governance, but you don't do nothing for we. What you do for Sierra Leone? Well, it not be there in the capacity, it not be there in the position where if we make decision. It be there in a position where if they bring ideas together, they advise the leader as to what thing for do for make the economic expectations them are achieved. But not to be there inside for make decision. And now they don't take the step now to say, I want to step into the shoes of a leader for make decision.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ajibu Tijanjalo. Me people who now just join with this Ansarcast TV with your regular program. But this now, a countdown on the BOK Ateka. Because in terms of the office now, they just they watch the country no more. See, we get elections on June 24. And Mr. Ajibu, what do you think? Because I understand, say, tomorrow, May 1st, and I nominate Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara. And also, we see the PPRC, they pass rules where we don't know if you get the right and audacity or tell people and say no rally. But we see Mayor Akinsoya with him people then we see that upline boy Gentle, because when we know say the mayorship of Freetown, it belongs to Creodem. And when you see the streets the way surround that mayor office, talk about Wilberforce Street, Wallace Johnson Street, then you come that upline boy say you want can be mayor of Freetown. Now, talk about the PPRC boss where they tell you about say no rally if you get the right to do that.
We really the PPRC man, Lawyer B talk say they get a meeting and then get a gentleman's agreement saying that rallies for move away from rally. What's they want now for make political parties them go converge at one particular location. And if they need for talk to them people, they talk to them people the day, but they believe say, going through the streets, they disrupt other people them, and they want to move away from that. The further say that the APC was part of that arrangement, but we know say the APC not agree to that because the APC then strength in rallies now in the day. Who Komona do? We show we strength with people in Komona do. And so we show say yes, we're in charge and we're fully charged up. So the APC not agree to that. However, it looked like say Lawyer B one forced down the road. But I don't know how he's going to do that. Until ultimately they do now this government a pauper business. First of all, make we make it clear. The PPRC chairman no get the authority to make law. In business now, for regulate political party the activity based on the act we get. PPRC Act. And not gets the authority for bringing anything new. If in fact a belief say street rally must be condemned, then as the professional in that area, if I present a paper and talk about the benefits and merits of that to a minister, ordinarily if we're under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, but maybe they're under the Office of the President, but either or, the Minister of Internal Affairs or the Chief Minister go documents then look at them, scrutinize them, analyze them, then develop what's in called a cabinet paper. And then they will present them a cabinet and discuss. If cabinet approve what they look for, then obviously it will become a policy. If they want to make them a law, then they can attach a white paper to them and send them to Parliament. The minister who initially explain the circumstance to Parliament and why it's beneficial, and then left under the hands of the man with the handle government business to let pilots up through the different stages. When once you go through the different stages, 3 stages from a bill, like a vote on them or they agree and it become law. Okay, but all happen. I guess waiting the PPRC guy they tell me is that they get a joint agreement. But when they come on at the APC say, we don't get that kind of agreement today. And to this day, they not show any minutes, any recordings. We say APC say yes, we sign up to that. So that said, may not believe say that law they go hold water. Okay, and in fact, the law all not threat, all not afraid. Listen, the SLPP are worried. They are very worried. They look at their stewardship. They know say they have not been able to achieve what is demanded or what is expected of them. There has been serious problems. They say they can't stop leakages. They get more leakage inside the system now than ever before. They say we wage bill extremely high. We get people they give job for the boys. We already pay them left, right, and center. Then get the biggest wage bill ever. Where we had 161 billion per month, they're pushing 200 and almost 40 billion a month. Will not make sense at all. Spending government money, then they say they spend money like drunken sailor. For God's sake, then they spend money like they ain't no day. You know, they talk about corruption, that they will stop corruption. We see now the corruption man, Cherry Pickles case, they go after, whose case they go after. Some corruption case where they before and so, they go after the case where no matter. You know, so pretty much all what they say they will do, there will be a reduction on the commodity prices. Okay, we see rest don't go from 250,000 to 730,000. Fear don't go up agilely. All things don't go. So really things are discombobulated. Things are out of control. The SLPP are worried because they're able for whole nothing. Okay, so because of that, you see the entire way they come. They want to stop we, not for rally. They know how let people that know say a government in waiting day. You see the alliances them where they form. They don't go from alliance with KKY. Ebo, how many body a ruling government now be they in power and they go from alliance with Osi? If I study, understand the lecture notes with profit, I will need help for we take exam. Of course not. Now where are lacking in all of them here, now I make I go need help for we take exam. Well, come on, you have state resources at your disposal, state paraphernalia at your disposal. You believe say you don't do well, you don't do all things in a manifesto, including letter we know the inside it. You don't do more. Why would you need an alliance with NGC? There's no need for that. No need for that. And now we're going to say the resort alliance now with PMDC and other parties. You know, so the bottom line is these are all things that they are doing for try for make we not able for tin up, for make people know say we did, and then they use the PPRC and every other government outfit. So when I talk about state capture, this narrative we talk about state capture. You know, the police has been captured, the PPRC has been, the election commission has been captured, the judiciary has been captured. You know, independence not there again. So that's where we are, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ajibuti Janjalo. Listeners, viewers of Siaka CV, we just want to let know say we did with Ajibuti Janjalo when I be the former government spokesman for the Ernest Bai Koroma administration, as we just give countdown on the this time still this word from Kamarimba we locked up, we be they talk about OTP bill. I think say them be no say yes now one time president I made them go lock her up today the language. So Mr. Ajibu, how you want look again before we let you go? This guy then you key, you don't feel say then guy then get some gimmicks where they want make for this election, or how una don't put una mechanism in place for counter-attack them, because always in they know now the last option after they don't intimidate people and say people do not listen, they don't kill. Now how for the election I make that the people all they don't put before like we they talk. So wetin na una mechanism dem wey don dey in place?
Um, about say we go protect people for tell exclusively waiting at the strategies where they in place, because I'm not privy to that information they eat, all the information not commodity. But one thing we now for sure, now the fact that yes, all kind of efforts don't they make before now by the SFPP for rig the election, all kind of efforts. From when they come with the census, when they skew the census, they use bad data. From when they come, they start bounding the limitations and then stop prematurely and then advise the presidency they can use the PR system. From the fact that they take Dr. Samara Matthew Wilson Kamara, bring case Kampara, case way could have been dealt with way before now. Okay, they keep an accord till election time just for make them present them in a bad light for keep them busy, making not actually able for do the things them we're supposed to do for campaign, like then the campaign now. Um, Talking about no more street rallies, where then they rally every day and they up and down. Uh, uh, the fact that they take 250,000 names them and strike them off the register, they say they're not eligible, and then promise say they go review and bring and come back, and still not do it. The fact that take today we get 52 days to elections, we not get a register. We don't have a register. By now, if we don't get a register of voters, all man will register for vote, the name for day, now list for day, now the voting center published. We don't get them. And we don't register long time ago. The fact that they present me now with ID card them, where you're not able to detect some man in face, some man in name they upside down. So all of this now effort where they put in place for somehow create the environment for rig the election. But they must understand that short of me not being able to tell you what specifically has been put in place, one thing I know is that the APC ready and willing to do whatever it takes to protect the vote. Whatever it takes to protect the vote. That is something that is quite clear. We've all been advised that we not go start problems in the country, but if the SLPP decides for start problems and disenfranchise some people, we certainly will help them for that.
Mr. Jallo, would you understand, say, Alpha Khan don't tender a letter of resignation at the All People Congress?
That's true. Alpha Khan and with him see on social media, and when I read them, all man knows me Alpha Khan in begin. I mean, I adopted son and somebody we worked with for a very long time. So when I read that letter there, I able to establish yes, certainly this is Alpha Khan in language, my intonation, writer. Unfortunately, because of the relationship way I don't share with them in the past, can choose not for respond beyond what I say so about Honorable Alpha Khan. Actions them quite unfortunate. To an action we be glad for, but I guess people do what they choose to do. And for me, I've advised myself that the less I say about it, the better. So normally, everyone even discuss your issue just because of the relationship we share. If you understand, I can't do bad, let other person to be again. But I know they will time for that.
Yeah, so if you wait now you daddy, but who knows say Alpha Khan don dey flip flop na the political arena na the country, but we know church thing na you adopt your daddy, but we hope say we don't go so when APC they come back into governance, can give we different story for come back because we get video the way they talk negatively about SLPP. All of a sudden, we let tweets go back so the APC guy one come back. And one day we will contact APC say no go area. So Mr. Ajibu Tijanjalo, I mean, we don't only so much today. Waiting at you last word where you want to viewers them out there, even about the election, and although some man them face with the ID cam, some man they yellow but we kai black, some man they we black we picture can juice, all kind color, all kind mix up box up dabaru. So waiting at the advice you want because some people they even discouraged now for go pick up their ID card. Waiting at you last word and advice we get.
My advice, thank you very much. My advice to people them now, collect your ID card no matter what. Because your ID card go give you the access into the voting area, the voting center. Okay, because if you don't get ID card, somebody will marginalize you. You're not gonna allow that you can inside yourself. But then if you don't get your ID card now, you're able to step inside. Then why you inside now? By hook or by crook, you will find your name, you will find your number, you'll be able to vote. So it's quite important that you take your ID card. But secondly, I want to implore my brothers and sisters them for say not a bad thing for make after 5 years you vote out a government in office. This they happen all over the world. In fact, now so the arrangements they that you give a government 5 year. Okay, maybe the problems where they simply not get the acumen for fix them. They don't get the know-how. Maybe next time around they go get them. But one thing we know, okay, APC government, no matter what you do, and go find way for softener. Then go find way for softener. We see fuel price, how far we hold them down. It get to a point where plava come between the government and IMF. Because we believe say fuel now a political commodity. Now commodity down the way if the price go up, every other price they go up. So we decide say we go subsidize. We will decide say the taxes we will for collect, we go for good in taxes then they just for keep the fuel price at a point where people able for afford them. The IMF not be glad for that. They say no, left the fuel price, make it go up, and if you want to add taxes, now your business add taxes, and force it able for buy, and they don't problem that. Well, when you get a government who care for people, a government where they in control, we say no. I can't for help we. When I can't help we, when advise we will take which we believe say go make people their life better. The one who will clearly say people their life not go better or not go take up. And we choose not to take up. And that was at the time where the IMF will be into a program where we don't do so well that they offer for giving $224 million because of the achievements we'll make economically. Then we don't discuss some of them money they deserve. But simply because we refuse to allow fuel price to go up, which we call full pass-through price, then decide to hold back on that money, on the balance of the money. The SLPP grab, run down and they say IMF don't fall out with we, they don't left the country, World Bank don't left the country, all man don't left the country. That was a lie, complete lie. And today, the president still they talk down on it. Okay, so all of that here they indicate to you for say this government not fit for purpose because they continue for embellish, they continue for lie. We stood our ground because we believe say fuel must be affordable, and we make sure say the price of rice. They like today they talk about say they pull duty per rice, they not pull no duty. Then come the meat. We APC now we don't pull the 3% duty per rice, and we're able to keep rice at an average cost of 250,000 pounds. Today, rice now 740,000. We talk about reserves. Reserves are very important for make you for attract foreign direct investment. Let people they can a country for can do business. They get for make sure say you get enough dollars then that you hand such that when they don't do business, they want for repatriate then profit back to the headquarters. They get dollars for send go back. That's what they send go back. So that is also a condition for the businesses can in country. That one you know again. You don't get business the way they can. Just recently, the other day, we were here about an economic zone where the president go open. Then they make a big deal out of that. Like for say that economic zone day, don't can change the livelihoods of people there. Well, me found with them, what's in an economic zone? Economic zone now an area where you get an arrangement with outside companies them for come. They go come put storage there. They will come put logistical equipment in there. So when you come, you not get for go fend your own place for do what you get for doing it. You can rent day to them. Okay, it's cheaper. And if you follow them, you work with them, will reduce your taxes. Okay, and what in our day for do if for attract plenty manufacturing companies then wait for bring job come now the area. So the idea of economic zone as something we'll go for explain now a whole other uh, uh, episode of this kind of nature. But that the idea that one day. Okay,
Okay, thank you very
so
much. Uh,
you can bring fake people in here where you say you can make economic zone. Okay, when alive, you don't create no job, you don't create no activity, you don't bring in no foreign direct investment. It means that they are not fake, they fake. We need for vote them out. We need for bringing Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara under the APC. The SLPP is not good for Sierra Leone. Thank you, sir.
okay, me fambulem, una we just dey listen to Ajibu Titanjalo. This na a former presidential spokesman to the Anes by Kuruma administration, and this man na call APC Pekin. And like what they talk regarding to that, like this you say na countdown, we just say call una attention. Una remember where then guy come, then na words, and then can fool people them talk and do nothing no happen. That man go wear white clothes overall, say they can build common bakery, where full man them. That man na Tender Hill. They get past 20 bakery, then I get a Guinea all. We're not a president, so Mother Bio go wear overall, say they breed bakery. This JJ Blood, where them put say now na chief minister, where they wake with Omole, sleep with Omole, say, then they can bring bread and butter for people. It not happen. This man, you not able to build bakery. Now Lunge Bridge they go build. You not build Lunge Bridge. Then tell me about electric train, overhead road them. All kind like them baba, them brad and like we modern hospital where people are not going to go Ghana again. Hey boy, Salon people. Now who's kind full on full so you know waiting? Then mortal man Sarah and then cow Sarah. We
Abdullah,
yes.
Abdullah,
Yes, I dey get you.
the president also lied for Sierra Leoneans. They say he so democratic that 1 year before the elections, he don't tell Sierra Leoneans them who stand at the election date.
Uh-huh.
Well, the law give you 3 months prior to the date of the last election or 3 months after the date of the last election for who the
Yes.
election. The date where President Julius Maada Bio Gisto 24, then at 3 months after the date of the last election, when at the April 4, I believe. So he cannot go beyond that by law anyway. He gave for whole election. So again, I lie to people then for say, I don't tell you now the date 1 year before time. No, if you want to tell we date 1 year before time, give we date when a date before the 5 year. Not take the date to the limits. Now the limits now there you can go. You cannot go beyond that anyway. But now that's it, they take lie to people there. So we need for bringing that to put attention. I hope you understand what I mean.
And they get you clear. Mr. Ajibu, now waiting with the same accounts down. Now
Yeah.
all the lie the way Mother Biodo lie for people them. Now for the bring it out to boy, you dey run a one whole country. You picking bang where you get now. You lie for now 1, 2, 3 telek where you get there American petition. So God one day they will tell you say that you they lie. Yes. Now Mother Biodo lie for one whole country so. Say it don't do take from A, it don't pass Z. I don't know letter we want put behind there again. No. Because them fi say na both school we go. We not go both school. Now if we turn school there we go. Then I then go both school. So me people when now they listen to Ajibu Titanjalo, who go they bring your account to una frequently. say to election, let it remind una because in a be man where they near the previous and then be the mouthpiece for the previous administration. Where you see them get respect up to today. Anything where you see them open them up. Now waiting the part tell them when a former honest by Kuma. Any they do look, madam, you like say they can make bread at bakery for people. The people don't go buy boku butter now. Who say bakery not make and bread not come. So not to them kind of people they do the thing. So me people them we go left una so for today and we don't talk with Adibuti Janjalo when a former presidential spokesman, government spokesman for the All People Congress. And we sound engineer and technician man who they behind the machine today now. Amjad Salumi Ba. Me na Abdullah Mansari, and we go come to Nabak next week. Natata.
Thank you very much.